Hello and happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. The sun is shining again brightly here, so that totally makes my day complete. Wrist pain isn't too bad today. Probably the hardest thing is getting my phone put in my little tripod holder because I have to kind of like stretch it, and it's like I shouldn't do that, but it needs to be in there. And then about the time I think I shouldn't be doing this, it's in there, so it's all good. And my phone doesn't weigh more than a pound, so I can do that too. So let me get my iPad going while a few of you jump on, but I never like to wait too long just because I know a lot of you watch the replay, especially when it's during the day when a lot of you are busy. So I see that I have some numbers up there, and some of you have already joined, and so I want to let you know that this is going to be project number 2. Usually say like card number 2 or whatever, but today I say project because I'm working on Kim Nos's virtual stamp party, and I've been having fun putting together excuse me, putting together ideas for her party, which includes both scrapbooking and cards. And so since Kim is an avid scrapbooker, if you watched yesterday, I was able to put together both a card and a scrapbook layout. So today I'm going to do that same thing. So let me show you the card that I'm going to make for you. Here, let me see if I can get, there we go. When the sun's shining so bright, sometimes it's hard to get the actual card in the picture. So that's kind of a glimpse of what that looks like. And then the scrapbook page will kind of be similar in looks to that as well too. So I don't know why my iPad isn't joining with me, but I can always keep an eye on what you guys are commenting on, or if you have questions too through my phone. Oh, there I am. I see my Stampin' Up t-shirt. There I am. Okay, so all right, so let me get started. So like I said, today is day number 2. Let me get my camera moved around here, which means project number 2 out of 3. And so I think it works easiest if I start with the scrapbook layout. But I just still want to show you the card. Hey there, Janet Fisher, how are you? So here once again is the card in some bright bumblebee colors and terracotta tile and such. So kind of bright and cheery that way. But I'm going to set that aside because I want to show you, if you like to follow along, where this is coming from in the catalog. So in the mini catalog, if you go to pages 48 and 49, yep, it's just those 2 pages, that will show you the fun stamp set, Sweet Ice Cream. So lots of fun sentiments. I love huge fonts like this that are kind of cursive-y but very easy to read. And then look at all these fun images of popsicles. Yesterday my grandson was here. He had a popsicle that he said was delicious. So I think this would be a fun set to do lots of kids birthday things with too, or any kind of occasion. So that's fun. And then of course it comes with the coordinating punch that I'll use. So today's project will use the stamp set, the coordinating punch, and of course if you get these together, then there's the 10% savings. So that bundle is only $31.50 for this big stamp set and that punch, which is great. And then I'm going to also use these fun papers, and because the catalog never does quite the justice as seeing it in person does, I'm going to show you on camera, even though it's still not as good as seeing it in person. So I kind of have these cut up into thick strips here because that's the paper that I am working with today. So this is one of the designs, and then the back side, kind of fun there, and the terracotta tile, and I don't feel like Stampin' Up! Has used that in their background papers a lot, so it's kind of fun. Look at all these ice cream cones that you could actually fussy cut out to have for projects. And then sprinkles on the back side, which I'll be using some of that today too. And I think this is just gorgeous with those deep purple colors. And look at that fun deep. I love Blackberry Bliss. So even though this is a busy paper, I think this will be perfect to put some projects together with. And then these fun, cute little ice cream cones here. When I went to bed last night, I thought I'd be focusing on like the granny apple green for my project today, and I totally changed gears. And then how fun that this looks like a waffle cone on that piece of paper. Hi Linda, hi Julie. And here's some of those fun, delicious popsicles, like my grandson would say. And I love stripes, so I love that there's bright colors in the stripes too. And here again too. So when you see these splotchy colors and those fun granny apple green dots too, the fun splotchy colors, you could go with your punch here and just punch out those to make it look like your scoop has all of that on it. So I think that's kind of a fun idea to be able to do that too. So did I think I needed this suite or bundle? Not right away. I tell you, it was one of those things that when I saw it in the catalog, I went, oh, I remember having the dies and the stamp set for that bundle a few years back, and that was dies and such. And then I thought, well, having a punch is kind of nice, so then totally went with it. So let me start for today's project for Kim with her scrapbook layout. And Kim is an avid scrapbooker. If you didn't get to join in yesterday, she loves to scrapbook 8.5 by 11. Hi, Tori. So with that, I'm pulling out 2 sheets of cinnamon cider 8.5 by 11. I'm going to put them side by side. And then you just saw all that cute paper here. And so a lot of it has just a little bit of cinnamon cider on the pages, either in the stick of the popsicle or the ice cream cone. And so it's just one of those subtle things that makes a great backdrop for a scrapbook page or even a card base, which it will be the card base too. And then letting all the other fun colors kind of steal the show. So let me do some stamping to show you how easy it is to put together an ice cream cone. So I'm going to need my Stampin' Pierce mat because the stamp set is photopolymer. So I'm going to open up cinnamon cider here, and I'm going to stamp out. There's this fun little triangle. So if you need triangles for a background project, this is a good stamp set for that too. Actually, let me put it on here, I think. So that works well. And then I have to kind of go, okay, where's this going to punch? How am I going to put my stamp in? So I'm going to kind of put it in upside down to make it easier to punch. Okay, so cinnamon cider, that's going to be our cone. And then how fun is just this fun little hash mark to make it look like it is the waffle cone, like so. So now both of these images, what surprised me is I stamped my cinnamon cider full strength as well as the hash marks on there. And because of the way the stamp is made, when you see it in person, you can kind of see that it's kind of set up so it doesn't grab all the ink solidly. It kind of gives it kind of a little color wash, which is great because then when you put the next thing on, you don't have to stamp off to make the next image look like it is darker than the first one. So that's kind of nice right there. Nice little added benefit. So putting it in the ice cream punch, there we have the ice cream cone. And then to do the little ice creams, I have terracotta tile here. I'm going to open that up. And my bumblebee. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so on this piece of paper, I'm going to take my bumblebee and ink that up and stamp that out here. There too, I didn't have to stamp off on that one because it just kind of leaves a nice little white center. And then there's a little stamp with sprinkles on it. So I'm just going to tap that on there like so. And now with this, it's ready to punch out on here like so. Okay, well, let me line that up. There we go. Got to that like that. So this is how you make the ice cream cone. And I think you could see how I could make different colors. Whoops, where'd it go? My one hand still I fumble with when it's in the brace. I just don't have the grip. Okay. So with this, you could see how to make a fun ice cream cone with that punch. And because you guys are all experts now after watching just that one display there, I'm going to just kind of set aside these things and start building the scrapbook page here for Kim. So I have some fun paper here. This is part of that Ice Cream Corner, our Ice Cream Shop Designer Series paper, 12 by 12 pack. So I'm going to just tape down this, and this is, I think, 5 1/4 inches wide by, some of you like to know the exact measurements. I'll get out my ruler. I thought I had it memorized. Okay, 5 1/4 by 8. So that'll give you kind of that 1/2 inch nice mat here. So I'm going to just center that at the bottom here of the cinnamon cider 8 1/2 by 11 sheet, like so. So that makes for a nice backdrop. And I love how those colors complement each other. They are in colors, but both from different groups, different years that they came out, but they really go together well. And then I'm going to bring in one of the newer In Colors of Bumblebee, and that's in the same grouping as Cinnamon Cider. Hi there, Donna. And so with that, I just kind of want to do a little bit of a border. So I'm going to take my adhesive here, just kind of do like an X, and that's going to just kind of be put like so on there. And sometimes I find instead of trimming, it's almost easier to put that adhesive on the front, flip over the back, and then just trim right along that natural little edge that the cardstock gives you. So we have that little strip to use for later if we want. And then we have just a fun little edging for a photo mat. So that I'm going to put here like so. And that's going to go up here on, actually I'm doing the second page kind of first. There, so I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to scoot over to page number 1. And hi, Diane. And I know that I always get little remarks from Lisa like, hey, you're using up your scraps again. Well, this paper is pretty new to me, so I haven't really come up with scraps. So I made my own scraps today using that same paper. So you can see this is what I used on the 1 page. And then it coordinates with the terracotta tile and the bumblebee. So I have all these different thicker to thinner strips, and I'm just going to put those, I'm going to run tape along all of them. I love this tape, it's super sturdy, so I feel like it's going to stick well with one pass. So I'm just going to kind of line that up here so that we can still see the cinnamon cider showing through too. And so this is 8 1/2 by 11 to start with, so there's no trimming. It'll just go right up the cardstock like so. The other is 12 by 12, so when I ran that strip through my trimmer, it's still 12 inches, and I'll show you how you can trim that off just like I did that other first one. So in for maybe a little lengthier video today, just because I'm doing the 2-page layout plus the card. But I was surprised because, okay, my son jumped in yesterday, and he's so cute because he's always, when he's home, saying, Mom, make sure you don't go on and on too much. People like short videos. I know I do, so I kind of get that. And so I always say, kind of don't have always all of the attention span to keep watching if something's really long, but if I'm getting something out of it and the person keeps moving, then I'm doing good. So he jumped on yesterday. I thought, oh boy, of all days, I'm doing a 2-page layout and a card yesterday too. But he didn't criticize anything too much. Okay, so I just thought it'd be fun to add some of these colors in just a fun way. Got kind of gluey, and sometimes it's just like if you have these scraps laying around, like I said, I cut these on purpose to be those different lengths. Oh, Drake, you're watching, and I was just talking about you and how I'm supposed to keep my videos short, but I'm doing a big project today. So please forgive me, Drake. Okay, so I have these, and like I said, 8 1/2 by 11 on the bumblebee was what the strips were when I started, and so these were 12 inches. So there again, these tabs just stick out at the top, and it's just easy to go along with my scissor and just trim that along the edge like so. Usually can kind of feel that edge where you're not cutting the cardstock, but just cutting into that next layer. So there we go. So that's going to be kind of a busy background, but what I'm going to do for that then is just add some of those solid pieces of terracotta, which are so fun because it takes the bright from that page, kind of covers up the busyness of it. Actually, for Kim, I'm going to use glue dots, so she wants to move these around. Whenever I do her page layouts, if this was her party in home, I kind of just put a few glue dots, just like 3, so it kind of barely tacks on, so that way if she wants to move it around at all to make her page layout a little bit different, because scrapbooking is definitely personal as far as what kind of pictures you have, how you display them and such. So I want to keep that option open for her. So I'm going to put this one over here and this one over here, and kind of tying in with that same look of giving that a little side piece. Another fun thing on here to kind of dress these up are the fun little papers with the back side of that other one that I had the ice cream cone. They're sprinkles. So with that, I'm just going to put a strip here of sprinkles like so. Actually, I kind of like it. I can move this one. I want it the other way. I want this one to be off to this side at the top. I changed my mind because if it's going to be a 2-page layout, I want kind of that picture to sit on that side of it. Otherwise, it's going to look like it's sitting the wrong way. Okay, so just putting that little bit of a sprinkle trim on the terracotta. Okay, and I didn't lose any of my glue dots, so I can still put that down. So we have kind of the basis of our 2-page layout here, like so, using all those same colors. And this one's definitely more traditional with just like a simple layout. This one's busier with that. But then once you add pictures, the pictures become the focal point. So sometimes some of that busyness just goes away on its own. So now for my little add-on, I want to put the fun little ice cream cone that I started. So there too, I'm just going to put little glue dots. I don't want Kim's page to be too full or thick with, say, the dimensionals and popped up and such. So I did some extra little scoops of ice cream like that too, that can just get built up. So I did this in terracotta. And then the one that you saw me do was the bumblebee. So just with glue dots. Whoops, this glue dot must not have stuck. Let me put that back on. It moved way too easy. Okay, and then this one neither. Okay, I must not have pressed too hard. There we go. So how fun to have this fun little towering scoop of ice cream kind of as a fun little thing, and how that really connects with that page too. So that is going to be Kim's 2-page layout, and I think it'd be so fun, you know, for any occasion with scrapbooking. And there too, I wanted to make Kim's card look like something that she could use for any kind of celebration for summer or anything that way too. And of course, anybody can change up the ice cream scoop colors and have that look the way you want it to. Hi there, Carol. So now I'm going to get started with her card. So let me, if you're just joining in, some of you are, let me show you again the card that coordinates with the 2-page scrapbook layout. And I have all these pieces cut already to make assembling go pretty decent. And this card base here again, I'm starting with that same cinnamon cider color, and that is the same as the scrapbook page bases there too. I love that new cinnamon cider color, and it's perfect for the waffle cones. And so I'm just going to take some of that bright color that has the terracotta and bumblebee in there, and that I can just tape down to my card. That's going to be 4 inches by 5 1/4, like so, and kind of want it to tip so it's a little bit crooked. So I kind of want to make sure that none of the edges are coming off the card, which that one did just a hair. Don't want it to get bent up, because anything that gets bent as an edge just isn't as cute when the person opens up their card out of the envelope. Okay, so I've got that on there like so. And now I think stamping this was really fun just because of the bright colors. So I'm going to pull over my Stampin' Pierce mat here again. And there's a nice big happy birthday in that ice cream cone stamp set. And then I'm going to stamp out in Bumblebee. So I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. And because this is going to be an angle too, you don't have to worry about perfection when lining this up. So I have a couple happy birthdays, one stamped full strength, the next one stamped again without re-inking. I'm just going to stamp that again twice like so, and then one more time at the bottom, full strength. So it almost has like an ombre look there to it too, depending on the strength of some of the areas in the second stamping. But I love how bright that Bumblebee color is. To me, the Bumblebee color is kind of always a wild card because sometimes it looks pretty yellow, sometimes it looks kind of golden. So that's kind of fun too. So I'm going to do 2 scoops of ice cream for the card. So once again, I'm going to do the Bumblebee just because that's the ink that's on there. So I'll do that and the sprinkles right away, full strength. And then I'm going to get out my chamois that looks like it's seen better days, but it's fun to kind of show you how you can wipe that off and it's not going to pick up any of those other stained colors on the chamois. This is one that's cut in half that I just put into a smaller case just so it won't take up as much space on my work area. Just want to make sure that that's dry. And then this I'm going to punch out right away like so. Okay, I want to make sure it's in there in the punch good. And this is another fun thing when it punches out, that I'm glad that it punched out kind of and landed that way. If you're a Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, Disney fan, these make great little Disney things. Like you could put these in red or black for your scrapbook pages or making cards that way too. And if you've looked on Pinterest, tons of ideas. And then of course we always go like, who thinks of those ideas? Because what a fun extra thing to have that look like that, to be used for that. Actually, let me use this little piece to do the next one. So the next scoop will be terracotta tile, and I do kind of want to stamp that off just a little bit because I feel like the sprinkles show up a little bit better if I have it stamped off. Hi Paige, hi Robin. Okay, so there is that in terracotta tile, but a little bit lighter with it being stamped off. And then I can slide this in like so. Paige, I was just telling everybody how Weston had a popsicle here, and now there's popsicles on this fun paper. So Weston might have to do some creating with me sometime. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this piece of paper, and we're almost done with the stamping part here to assemble this ice cream cone. So I've got in the cinnamon cider, the triangle, and then the hash mark. That's going to make it look like a waffle cone there. So I'm going to slide that in like so. And let's see. There we go. Got that. Okay, so now for the card to assemble, got these little pieces, and I'll go back to my happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday page. And here's the tiniest little strip. I thought that would be kind of fun. So I took a big strip, cut it down to like a 1/2 inch by 3 inches using that same, like this is the big version. So if it looks familiar, this is from the scrapbook page, but here's just a little tiny snippet of that. So I'm going to put that down just to add a little color to this. I'm going to kind of put it at an angle. And then I thought it'd be fun to put some kind of ribbon too. Hi, Wendy. But I didn't want a lot of ribbon because it's a really busy card, or it's going to be with all the little pieces. So I'm just going to take and wrap this around towards the top of that a couple times, and then just do a little knot with some linen trim. Linen trim just is going to add a little bit of accent, a little bit of brown color to kind of tie in with the base of the cone, like so. Let me get my scissor for ribbon here and just snip that like so. And then after that, we can assemble the cone on here too. So I'm just going to take some, I'm ready to put this on. I wasn't sure. Kind of thought, well, maybe just one dimensional. There wasn't a lot of room for two. So putting a second little mini dimensional at the bottom was just kind of what this project needed there. So if you have the minis, that works really well for that, like so. And then I can put that kind of right there. And then I'm going to put the pink one or the terracotta one first, kind of putting my dimensional closer to the bottom, like so. So that sits there. And then for the bumblebee one, I'm putting my dimensional towards the top so that that kind of sits, and then I kind of just slide it to where that bumps up against it. And then I just let that be just so, like that. And then I'm also going to put a layer of these just to kind of bump up this layer on my card with some dimensionals too. So I don't know if any of you joined in yesterday. I did a 2-page layout for Kim's virtual party yesterday, and then a coordinating card. And so how it works is Kim's going to get the scrapbook pages that I make today, and the cards that I'm making, the people that order from the party get the cards. So if you're wondering, kind of seeing me do both, how that works, that is how that does work. Okay, so I put that at an angle too. I had this white piece cut just a little bit larger or wider, but what I wanted was a narrower piece so that it would show more of that designer series paper, show it off a little bit, because it is really pretty. I got this idea mostly, I tried to case it as close as I could from Carolyn Kingsley on Pinterest. And so I really liked the color combination. Like I said, when I went to bed, I knew I wanted to work with this product of Sweets because I haven't yet. And then when I went to bed, I thought, oh, I'll be doing Granny Apple Green, but it was kind of fun to do the pinks and yellows for Kim and the girls. So Sean might get blue or something more masculine tomorrow if she's scrapbooking for them. Okay, another sentiment that comes in the stamp set is with sprinkles on top. And I love there again that this stamp set is photopolymer. So it's easy to get a tiny little sentiment on a tiny little strip of paper there. And for that, being it's not very wide, I'm going to put a dimensional on one end and a dimensional on the other, mini dimensional I should add. And then that's just gonna kind of sit right over top the base of that ice cream. So that's why I only needed 2 on there, because it has the support of that one as well. So I'm not going to add any extras. There are sprinkles in the suite and such, and I could have added extra, but like I said, with the busy paper and that background extra with the happy birthday and everything else going on, I kind of just wanted the ice cream to be the show on this card, but I will do an inside here quick for you. And for that, I have another sentiment that says, hope it's sweet. So happy birthday with sprinkles on top, hope it's sweet. So I'm just gonna stamp that out in the terracotta. And I'm gonna tap this ice cream cone on here, terracotta. That one I did full strength just because it's in the inside. And then I'm gonna put sprinkles on top, like so. So that's what we have for the inside there as well. And I'm going to move that out of the way just so I don't accidentally get any ink on it from just stamping. I'll just be able to tack that down to the inside. I really like the terracotta color together with the cinnamon cider. I know when the cinnamon cider came out, I was really excited because it makes kind of a like a fun color for animals and dogs and such, but who knew ice cream was right around the corner when they came out with that. Thanks, Tori. So yeah, this is today's card here. So that's what you would get if you order through Kim's virtual party. And Kim, once again, will be getting these 2 pages of the scrapbook layout using those same products and such too. So that is how that works. Let me move my camera here. So that is already day number 2. Sometimes I feel like when I get to day number 2, it just flies by and then it's gone. So day number 2 for Kim Noss's virtual stamp party. And I know a lot of Kim's guests, as well as Kim, they work during the day. So hopefully when they get wrapped up and can relax at the end of the day, then hopefully you guys can watch this video, get some inspiration, and actually see what card you'll be getting from me when you place your order too. So that wraps up card number 2, or project number 2. Tomorrow I will be back in the afternoon again with project number 3, and to wrap up Kim's virtual party. And then I want to touch base with Kim to ask her if she has a closing date in mind too for her party, so that you guys, if you're interested in ordering, you'll kind of know when that deadline is too for that. Tomorrow, I hope things keep going well with my wrist. Tomorrow I'd like to do a double feature, and so I'd like to do Kim's projects and then also bring you a stamp camp project too, to keep going on those, because it's almost the end of the month and I have those 3 designs yet to bring to you guys before the end of January. And so that'll be fun to bring you guys a double feature tomorrow. So hope to see you then. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.